welcome to Elmcreek. Well, we're going to start mulching our fields since we get maximum yield out of them doing it that way. We might as well have it all done this way. And looks like we're going to be missing a little bit here. But if we remember, we will come back and do this little bit. I'll let the worker get all this work done. You know what? Before I let the worker do anything, I'm going to go back and fix this thing that I'm missing now. Otherwise I'm going to end up forgetting about it. Let's get rid of the beacons. We don't need the beacons on. And we're going to do a couple of... Actually, they should be alright. We'll see how the worker copes with getting the shed, hitting the shed or not hitting the shed. So we've got a few fields that we have already harvested, and we're going to mulch them. And if they need plowing, as you've seen, I have purchased a plow and a rock collector. The rock collector that I got is a modded rock collector, and this one is 12 meters wide, so it's it's been changed to 12 meters. Which I believe is double than what it was originally. Now this was meant to be like a multiplayer, but unfortunately schedules don't work as well as they should when you're in totally different parts of the world. But if we can, we will definitely align schedules and get this done. Alright, so we'll see what happens. We'll let this worker do his job. And now we're going to find out how tight we made these rows, because it looks like we're going to be just fitting through them. So that's not going to be a good thing. But we got to get this done. I believe it needs to be done. So while my worker's doing the other bit, we're going to get this taken care of. Because the last thing we want to do is lose crop. After all, this cost us an arm and a leg to do. So I believe I can just go straight through this way. I'm not quite sure if it's actually doing anything on this side, but we'll find out if it's actually doing anything on the other side. And there's people just walking through my farm as if it belongs. Oh, don't smash. Oh. Don't smash into my... That's interesting. I've got a little bit of a gate there. I don't remember placing a gate there. So we'll see if it does anything where the grapes are. No, it does not. So it does not need to be done here, so we're not going to waste time doing it. Is there any difference at the olives? Yes, there is, so we're going to just do it at the olives. I didn't realize that I put the olives so tight. Well, I suppose this is why we have such a tight tractor, such a small tractor I should say, because we do need to get in between. So you can see that it changes ground, which is good. I'm not quite sure if we need to fertilize them yet, or they get fertilized once they start to grow, so we will look into that as well. Or if I get this, if I had the option to do this again, I wouldn't do them so tight. I'd leave a little bit more space between them. Seems to me like I'm gonna have a lot of work to do this. And what's sad is that the worker cannot do this. So this type of farming is definitely manual, all manual. Oh, this is a bit better. Space-wise. Okay. We've only got like a gazillion rows to go. Alright, we'll do a bit of a time lapse. I don't think you want me to do this all the way through. So obviously the downsides of spacing them out too much is that you will need to cultivate close to each row. Now what I did is I painted obviously the middle of these things because you could see the previous crop when I put the trees down. You could see the previous crop through them, and I thought, you know what, I'll just paint that bit in so it looks a little bit better. She's alright, but as you can see, it's not getting cultivated, so it just stays there. Which I may just get a small plow or something and come and plow in between and see if anything changes. I don't know if that makes any difference, to be really honest. So I'm not quite sure what the effect would be, that the fact of that little bit cannot be cultivated, but I don't think it should matter. So, you know, I didn't take too long to do this, which is good. Oh, okay. Don't want to be destroying the trees now, do you? After all, they cost a lot of money. I'd be curious to see how much it would cost per tree to plant, but I don't imagine it would be like what we paid here, what, 13,000 or something like that per row. You would plant them as small samplings, I believe, and you shouldn't need to do. I could be wrong. You shouldn't need to incur such a massive cost. Now, since we don't have to do all of it here, we're just going to reverse from about here onwards, I believe. Not too much to go. Alright, stay away from the trees. We're bashing up the trees a little bit, but no problemo. There's no damage, I don't think, because of that. To the trees, I mean. Or the tractor, for that matter. So, second last pass. I'm going to try the mulcher, see if the mulcher is required for the grapes. And see if that changes at all. I did try to cultivate there, but it wasn't necessary, so we're not going to complain for that for sure. Okay, our last pass, and we're going to try and be as close as possible to the olive trees, because otherwise it's going to do nothing. And this way, as you can see, it is cultivating right next to the trees. Okay, job done. And you can see that my spacing wasn't very good, so yeah. Where do I want to put this? I'm gonna keep him here with the other small tractor or what? Let's have a look. Has it actually done anything? Yes, it has. Okay, so looks like we may need to... Where do I want to put these implements? You know what? For now, we're just gonna place them right here. I see that in real life all the time. Alright, so we're gonna need to get some fertilizer, but before we do that, I do want to go and try out the mulcher, see if this does anything. How much do you want to bet that when I move forward, well, at least wasn't too bad. I'm going to try, but I think you mulch first and then you do this. So I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to do it straight at the grapes over here and see what happens, eh? Wonder if I need to get the bigger one for the grapes. Is it actually doing anything? Yes, it is. Can I just go in the middle? Is it the same effect? Not really. Oh well, at least it cleans them up a little bit. It'd be nice if this was, I mean, since you're doing it, it'd be nice if you went from in between the rows from one end to the other. So it'd be nice if, even though the machine is not like 3 or 4 meters wide, it'd be nice if it had a visually wise, a much wider cutting. If that makes sense. It's like if you go and cut right in the middle, it leaves quite a bit of stubble underneath, or the grass uncut underneath, which is not the nicest thing in the world. That's the one. Bash up the olive trees. How long do you think before someone, a modder, will come up with a mower that it just doesn't have collision and can fit underneath and cut it properly? Because it does look a bit ridiculous with, you know, bits and pieces sticking out, and that's because you can't really cut all the way to the end. Alright, I'll get this done and then I'll see you when it's finished. I don't think I'm going to do another time lapse. Maybe I will, but I don't think so, because it may be too many time lapses in this episode, so we'll see what happens. Alright, so I did buy the slightly larger mulcher, and I'm gonna go pick it up now and see if it fits and see if that's any better. So this will be a good experiment. If my spacing is far enough, hopefully it will fit, and hopefully this will have a slightly larger cutting range than my other one. No such luck. Oh yeah, okay, it's going. It's touching everything, but yeah. I wonder if... No, it's not the tractor, because the implement is much wider than the tractor, so I can't blame the tractor. See, all you would need is someone to, like I said, just slightly extend the cutting width of any of these implements, or remove the collision, say, halfway through this cutter, so you can kind of go underneath it a little bit. Either or, but it'd probably be better if you just say extended the cutting range by 1 meter. But it does look better this way, because you can fit through, but I don't think I can. There you are. So I'm stuck here. Okay, so this is definitely not gonna work. As much as I would like it to, it's not gonna work. Let's go park you back. Okay, so it definitely works better if your spacing is good enough. So if you haven't planted any of this, consider allowing enough for the larger implement. But like what I did here, I've allowed quite a lot more. It still really doesn't work, because you're gonna have to come twice on it anyway if it's too large. Anyway, you're just gonna park you over here where you belong. Okay, we'll keep going. Alright, our guy is finished mulching that field, so we are gonna set him up to do this field over here. Since we know that mulching increases yield, I thought, you know what, it'd be a great idea to just let him go for it, and we get ourselves a better yield. And I'll get a disc, and boom, done. So we're gonna try, not all the time, but we're gonna try and sort of do what I see real farmers do, and that is, even if mulching is not required, or even if cultivating is not required by the game I'm talking about, like it's not saying, hey, you need to do this, I may end up doing it every now and then, purely because I see farmers, they hit one field with a disc, or with a reaper, or with a whatever, and then other field they do something totally different. So we're gonna do that here, what happens in real life. Alright, so obviously once we harvest this field, these two fields are gonna be one field. This is exactly what I mean. I mean, it kind of looks messy and it kind of bugs me. I don't really like it like that. But, hey. Seems to me that that's the best that we're going to be able to do with this until somebody comes up with a much better solution. So we are ready to spray both of our orchards or orchids, and we should be able to get us in a much better position. You know, I think what I'm gonna do, okay, come on, go back. I'm gonna make this tractor be the carrier of this, and I will always do mulching when I do this pruning as well. So, oh, don't go through the wall. Okay. All right, so let's try this guy out and see if it actually does anything. Oh, we're gonna massively fertilize. Okay, this is. Where am I? Yes, it is. So just get rid of that. Imagine in real life that tractor would get hammered with fertilizer. You would have to wash it like anything otherwise. Oh, this last row, I was very tight with it. Alright, it's not using a lot of fertilizer. I'll do this so that way I can just go from one row to the other. Okay, with the olive trees I went a bit too close. Way too close. It seems to be I think the trailer seems to be bumping into something all the time. So the tractor's nice and narrow, but the trailer's a little bit wider, and that seems to cause an issue here. Oh, come on. This is becoming frustrating. May have to rethink this orchid, the olives orchid, and if that's the case I may delete it all and redo it all. Which I hope not, because let's face it, who wants to redo all this all over again? I got walking by getting a whole mouthful of fresh fertilizer. It's what you see in real life, don't you? You see people exercising, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with exercising. But they're exercising next to massive, busy highways. And you think to yourself, you got to be kidding me. You could have picked a better place to exercise. I mean, after all, what are you doing? You're getting a mouthful of chemicals. I know here in Australia where we are, you see that all the time. People running right next to massive roads where there's like thousands of cars passing them by. And that's where they've decided to exercise. Where there's plenty of parks and there's plenty of places where they could exercise. But I suppose these days people don't want to go into parks because of safety concerns. So this is my guys over here. They're doing their daily walk through my farm. Wow, it's not using a lot of fertilizer, is it? Only 3%. I mean, we haven't done a lot, but we've done enough. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining that it's not using fertilizer, but I'm just saying. Okay, seems like our spacing is much better up here than down there on the field. It's one thing, it's a little bit disappointing. Nothing seems to change. You're just fertilizing, but there doesn't seem to be something that changes. You know, like maybe the color should change, or a bit of foam or something put on. That was a good turn. I didn't even see it until after. Oh, I didn't crash into things. Keep going. So it's that step. Okay, it's that step that's the problem. Somebody needs to get rid of that step. Why would giants put that step that's sticking out of the wheel? At least it's going fast. Oh, which one did I come out of? When in doubt, better off going on 2 than on none. So this is what I'm saying. You can't really tell where you've been or haven't been. It would be nice if something would happen. At least, I don't know, a temporary foam-like thing, or I don't know. It's that step that's getting caught into things. So all a modder has to do is, oh come on, remove that step and we're fine. Look how much is sticking out. And our last pass, you know what, I just realized that I didn't even check to see how it looks on the map, and I'm not gonna check until we get to the end. So we'll find out how we did when we get to the end of these olive trees. So we'll find out very shortly. 7% fertilizer used, which is good, not complaining. I suppose it is supposed to be like a mist that they're spraying. They're not really spraying liquid, so you would expect it to be quite a lot lower use. So let's check it out. Hey, that's pretty good if I may say so. I missed bits and pieces there, but I would say, I would say that's because it's those pieces here, they cannot be fertilized. Yep. Alright, so that's a pretty good job. So we cultivated, we mulched, and we fertilized. Looks like our grapes, second stage fertilization. This one is first stage, so we will have to come back to fertilize. I don't know why I bought a self-propelled sprayer and a sprayer. I'm sure that there is a reason, just cannot figure it out right now. Probably I wanted to have one. Oh jeez, I'm doing good, aren't I? So all of this is done. Oh look, even our worker finished mulching. Let's go to him. Where are you? So he's finished mulching our land, number 53. So I believe that's all that's been harvested so far. Harvested, where are we? Okay, so oh, sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. I'm like, why doesn't it show mulched? Okay, all right, so it looks like we are just about done with what we can do at this stage. So we will leave it here for now, and I will see you in the next episode. If you like what you see, like always, please please consider supporting my channel, and yeah, please share my channel if you like what you see, and I will see you on to our next adventure. Have a wonderful day. God bless you. And stay safe wherever you are, and be kind to each other. See you later. Bye bye.